Hi guys, Rachel with Spunky Misfit Girl here, and welcome back to the Big Tab Bound Journal for the 1,000 subscribers giveaway. And hopefully this is going to be a fairly simple but really cool page. So I'm going to take this castle, and the first thing I'm going to do is cut it out. And I'm actually thinking, as I look at this, if I want a ruler, which I do not have here next to me. And I think I might actually, for like this top part, maybe not so much for other parts of it. But I think I'm gonna grab it just because some of those pieces might benefit from me having a straighter cutting ability. So, but I've changed my blade in my X-Acto knife because it was getting very dull, and I think I cut something out recently on a video. Yeah, the door knocker, and it was not working very well for me. So I'm gonna use a fresh blade on this because hopefully that will make it a bit easier and nicer. And I am just gonna go ahead and cut this out as a little frame here, and trying not to be too fussy with myself with precision, because I think it's gonna look really cool. Yeah, look at that. Slices right through. I really needed a new blade more than I realized. Okay, I think this one I'm gonna do with the ruler next to me here, because that'll help a little. Oh, but don't go all the way. Where do I stop? I stop here. Well, that would be a disaster, wouldn't it? We're gonna just go pretty straight. Ooh, I didn't cut hard enough. Look at me bragging about how great the new blade was, and then I just, oh, for goodness sake. I don't want to do it again in the wrong spot, which I'm doing already. I did it a little bit low too, but that's okay because I planned for this with the background that I have to glue in there before I put this guy in there. Okay, so we're just gonna go to the I've got to think actually about like this bottom. I don't know, do I want to, I think I want to maybe cut around the, I didn't do it here, so I don't have a choice, but yeah, there's little fussy bits here that I didn't really think about before, but that's okay. Getting some of them now for this one. Yeah, that one really didn't have them, so. Okay, look at that. Coming out of there. Now the question is, here on this, and then what to do with the plants. some of the plants are integrated into that background, but I think it'll be cooler if these ones that really stick out are in the frame. So I'm gonna do that. Try to do this well, but it's not super easy with this. It's been a long time since I've cut things out with an X-Acto knife like this too. I used to be better at it. And also, the lines on this particular part of this paper are not super well defined, so that's another part of it. Listen to all my excuses for why I suck at this. And then it's gonna come out looking really cool. I think we're gonna leave those and just go back up around these. All right, how far did I go here? Okay, just about there. Okay, yeah. Punch it out. Now, we have got this guy, who I was gonna put in here, just to make sure any weird spots have a background and we're not going to end up with the craft paper showing through. So I'm going to see where to put this. Right? So let's pull this out of there. It's going to be like this. That's fine, right? Let's mark it. Oh, my pencils, where are you? There's blue. I'm just gonna put it right on top of the glue, I guess. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and put this guy in. That's my next step. Journal is getting pretty bulky. It's gonna be fun to finish it up and put that cover on. I've got just a couple more pages to go. I don't know how many exactly. Take a look. At least 2. And then the cover. All right. Tape for this guy. And what we could do, actually, which I didn't think about before, is I could put the Elven girl in here as another layer. I'm gonna think about that. Okay. There we go. Find our marks. And we're gonna put this guy in here. Just like this. Our background is safe. So what I was thinking is she might be able to come in over here like this. It's another layer. And actually, if there's any issue with those cuts, she would cover that up. And actually, I think what I want to do is put a frame around the outside too. Because I decided to do those cuts like that, I think that'll be a good idea. So I'm gonna need another page that's big enough. To go around there. In between, and that's maybe how I should have thought about it with the other one. I wanted that for something else. Yeah, something like this. This one could work very well. So just like, I want it to actually go over. Let's do this. Trying to think of how to show this to myself without mucking this up. So let's take a piece of paper that is the right size, but we want it to go over the edges a little bit, right? So I don't want to cut it down. That's fine. So that I've got all this extra. Right? Is that going to go inside? Nope, that's still too much extra. So we need it to go inside a sheet this size, so a little bit more. What I'm kind of thinking to do is to use this as a guide, right? So that then I cut kind of like this. Helps if I don't knock my, I'm gonna just mark these actually so that I know I kind of come inside those a little bit. Oh, get my ruler, which I just knocked on the floor. Kind of been one of those days in crafting, you know? And I think what I'll do is actually just make this, go ahead and cut it. I need a mark though that I can see up here too, so that I don't go too far. So I want it just slightly outside of that because that was the edge of the castle. And I'll just go ahead, cut. So that hopefully we get, darn it, a frame I can use. I don't know, I just messed that up. And I don't have a mark over here either. A little bit inside because I do want to cover up that edge. I need to remember that. I'll come to here, but that's not straight. Well, that wasn't straight either. I totally just didn't even cut on the ruler. On the struggle bus today. Okay, so I think that's pretty close. Actually cut it out all the way and take a look. And I can leave that mess up in there. It's good that I did this way. Okay, so castle, how does that look? And I'm cutting through my bottom. Yeah, that bottom's not big enough. But if we're gonna put her in there, then maybe it doesn't matter, right? Yeah, okay. Okay, I think that'll work. So then what we'll do is we'll put this where we want it on here. Cut that out to cover up that castle. I think I'm gonna do it. Do I want, I do kind of want this here. So I'm gonna have to cut it a couple times. Okay, let's cut the inside first and do that carefully so that hopefully I can get that right. Problem with this is that it's not gonna be even. I'm gonna have to eyeball it a little bit there. Okay. It's hard to see my marks on this paper too. Okay, remember it's not all the way, and do it alongside the ruler. Something is making a lot of very strange noise outside. Yeah, so this is not straight. So trying to keep it straight. Go like this. And number 3, where's my mark? I can't see it. Can't see it at all. It's over here. Okay. And then like this guy. And that should be very close to perfect. Come on. Okay, and then actually I might not even bother cutting out the outside because it'll fit underneath this other one anyway and not show. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna get our castle and we're gonna get our girl. Let's give our girl some ink. And she's gonna go in something like this. And then we're gonna get this one. Yeah, I really need to put her here. Darn it. I got just a little bit there that's not gonna get covered by her, I think, if I do her. I have to do her exactly right like that, I think. And then I still have just that tiny bit, but nope. I do it like this. It's a bit high on her though. I don't really like that. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna give our castle just a little bit of green to cover up just that tiny bit right there. What do we got? We've got the bottom of a bridge. Yeah, we're gonna just take a tiny little piece like this. I'm gonna not have any white on it. I'm gonna glue it underneath like that to this guy. And then just that one little piece over there that needs more behind it, we'll get it. Put it like that. Okay. Okay. And I'm gonna go ahead and just cut that off too, because it won't matter, you won't see it, but all right, let that stay. Okay, and then so I'm gonna put this guy on here flat, I think, because there's gonna be a lot of layers here. So I'm gonna go ahead and glue it in. Still forgot to top up on glue too. Running low. I think I have another bottle around here somewhere, but now this needs to go in the right place too. So I need to make sure, I think centering it is fine and all that really matters. She goes on here. This one goes in here. Oh, it's to go down. She goes as far over here as possible. Yeah, there. Oop, I'm gonna need to cut that off a little bit on that side. And then this one is gonna go over the top. Yeah, so I'm gonna cut this guy here. And where? Just here. And I'm gonna make sure that the insides are free of pencil marks too. There, there. I've never done anything like this before, you guys, so I hope it turns out cool. I feel like it's going to, but it was just something where I looked at that page and I was like, ooh, that would be cool as a frame. But I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm making it up as I go along, so thank you for bearing with me and coming along. Okay, so we're gonna give her some foam tape and stick her in. Just like that with our tape scissors. Some shorter pieces for her head. I think we'll go like that, actually. All the way. And then one more for that middle. And then I've got to get her in exactly the right spot here, as far over as I can, while still covering up that edge. My nails are short. My paper doesn't want to come off. There we go. Okay. If I remember, we'll look at how many pages are left too here. I'm thinking about it as I'm trying to get these little red guys up. All right. Okay, look at that. Yep. That's about right. She goes in there like that, which was totally unexpected. I wasn't planning to do that. And then this one can go in there. And I actually don't know. My plan was to do foam tape again. Although I might end up using it all up with these big frames. Although maybe I won't. Yeah, no, I do. I need that one because this one's skinny. This is the thing. That's what I was thinking the background was for, but it really doesn't do it because you need it over the top of this castle, the cuts on the castle. So that's why you need it this one. I might need to look at whether I need to cut more off of this other one. I don't think I do though. Yeah, okay. I think what I want to do here, well, because I could move that like that. Make it go over here so that there's a consistent showing of stuff on this side too. Kind of like that. I want ink on my insides of both of these to define those edges and make them stand out against each other. I think I do need the foam tape in order to make the layers work. So we'll foam tape all of them, which is going to make this a pricey page. It's going to use a lot of that foam tape. And actually I might need it on the outside of that one too. And then I've got to mark where to put them so that they land how I want them. Because of course, always with the tape, it's a little trickier. I can't kind of mush it around at all like I do with the glue. So before I lay this next layer down, I want to have a good sense of where they're both going to end up. I think I may have done some ink on this one already. It just doesn't show hugely on that paper. Okay, let us get this. Journal's a bit bulky at this point too, so it's a little harder to work with. So we want, yeah, we actually want this to come here a bit. So let me look. We want that to keep showing on that side. And this guy to ultimately end up about like that. So I think that's about right. So I'm gonna pull this one off and I'm gonna leave this guy and we're gonna mark. This guy is gonna go just like that. And just like that on top of the glue. I can't really see, but I'll put one up in here too, just to hopefully make this really straightforward for me, because all of this will be covered up, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so then this guy is gonna get foam tape. And I'm just gonna do a nice long, already coming off of here. More excited than me, even. Okay. But I don't want it to be curving up the paper here. Be a little careful with how this works. It does need to go down flat. Now I'm a bit wonky with my coating coming off here. Okay, come on. I'm gonna just get rid of this. It's in my way. Okay. There we go. Yep. 2. It's a little hard to get it straight here because it's not wanting to lay. Properly with its stuff here that's getting in the way, but let's take that off too. I think we're good. Just take this one off. And last, over here, don't do that. Okay, looking good. This is gonna be really cool. Okay, and now we need to get it on its marks, which I think we can do if I follow them down here like this. Oh yeah. I hope that foam tape is sticky enough to really stay. I haven't really used it enough to know. That looks pretty good though, doesn't it? I haven't really used it enough to know that it really is super sticky or not. Interesting. Okay, so this is cool because I didn't, my thought was, I thought this was over farther when it wasn't in here, but that's okay. It actually looks, I think it looks good with that column over there. I think that's fine. I'm gonna put it so that it's even around the edges here and just let this side doesn't have a layer. That's okay. I like it like this anyway. Okay, more foam tape. Maybe not my favorite way to do a page. I will just say this stuff is a bit fussy. I've only used it in kind of small amounts. It's like stretchy. I think that's part of the issue, so that it keep kind of stretching out here. And then it's actually too short for the page. So I just have to be careful. That one's going to be tricky because it's so skinny. It's actually stuck to this black piece of paper and I don't really want to rip it off. And that's maybe also part of my problem. But we're making it work, right? A little bit at a time. page is going to be super awesome. Yeah, it's like chewing gum or something. Like it just, see that? Just kind of stretches out and then quits. You just stick it a little bit at a time and make sure you're not pulling on it too much. As you go. Okay, last one. It's a bit wide, so I've got to be really careful about sticking it so that it's not going to show here. It's not that easy with it wanting to jump around like that. Okay. Okay, I think we've got it. It's a bit not working over here. Okay. Yep. And then I didn't make marks, but that's okay. I think we're gonna just aim to get this where it needs to be for the outside to be even. And that's gonna go like that. And I think that's about right. My tape is showing a little bit on this edge, but I think I'm gonna live with that. Okay, that's fun and pretty. Not terribly useful as a journal page. It makes me want to find a way to tuck a writing spot in there, but gorgeous. Yeah. All right, that's, I don't know, I think 10, part 10 done. So let's look. I did want to put a little something in here on this back page, although I may decide against that once we're kind of really full. So we've got 2 pages here, which I actually have some plans for this one, which I'm gonna tuck back in there again. That's fine. So we've got 2, maybe 3 maybe 4, 5, maybe 6 pages left to do in the cover. So I might ultimately decide not to do anything with this last page and just leave her as she is. Because I do want to finish this journal up and give you guys a chance to catch up to the end of the playlist and then send it out to somebody. So if you're new here, in order to enter the giveaway, you'll want to like this video, comment on it, go back to the beginning of the playlist and do that with everything in the playlist, subscribe to my YouTube channel and sign up to my email list, and you'll be entered for a chance to win this journal. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.